Now, fans that either sold their tickets or whatever, all of a sudden an emphasis is starting to get thrown onto the tickets where people believe she will be playing. And that's starting to make the ticket prices go up, and up.
With ticket prices soaring like she's shooting threes on the moon and viewership smashing records, the Federal Reserve may need to step in. Fans are bidding off kidneys for courtside tickets. What sort of magic is this? Has Taylor Swift and LeBron Steph combined to create this mayhem, which was brought on by Caitlin Clark's injury recovery?
Fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't gonna be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs.
In addition to dribbling basketballs, Caitlin Clark is also dribbling bank accounts, media narratives, egos, and the WNBA. Let's face it, there were people before and after her, and their ticket prices were sitting down before her, and now they're slamming through your wallet and into the luxury tax bracket.
Don't hate the player, hate the game she got, because she's really talented, especially for being Palangi, She's like the Stephen Curry of WNBA with the threes and stuff. Like, proven fact is, they had a game on June 7th scheduled, it was going to be Angel Reese's team, which plays for Chicago, and then for Caitlin Clark's team. They were supposed to go up there playing Chicago on June 7th. First, the ticket sales were at $76 a ticket. Then after they found out Caitlin Clark's not playing that game, she got injured, sales dropped to $25 a ticket.
However, what's really going on is the WNBA veterans Meltdown Energy, who apparently didn't read the script that says bigger audience equals more money and equals chill out. The Caitlin Clark effect isn't just a scene where she scores 30 points. It's bigger, more pervasive, and even when she doesn't play the numbers, spike. It's like oxygen in the arena. Sales of merchandise, higher television ratings. The audience is acting like Taylor Swift at an NFL game, which is making the higher security personnel anxious.
Fact, ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't gonna be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA still doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They must protect her at all costs. You can argue all you want if she's the best player in the league, but you absolutely cannot argue if she's the most important, because she is. She is more valuable than all the other players combined, and that is just a fact.
The worst part is that some WNBA players act as though they would rather defend a fast break without shoes than acknowledge it. You would think the league would give a red carpet to someone who is essentially bringing the entire organization into the public eye like an ESPN point guard on a mission, but instead some players are behaving as though Caitlin showed up and took their endorsement deal and lunch money.
WNBA is now suffering a major injury as Caitlin Clark is going to be out for 2 weeks with a quad injury. And the reason we're bringing this up specifically is the Clarkonomics effect to this. Obviously, players miss time all the time, but the Sky and the Fever were supposed to play in Chicago in about a week on June 7th. The opening ticket price was $86 because you have the Angel Resource Caitlin Clark Showdown that is now box office. Yeah, those tickets are now down to $25. Down to $25 after the injury announcement. And it's supposed to take place in the Bulls Arena, the United Center, as opposed to the normal Wintrust Arena. That's about a 12,000 seat difference, give or take. So
the strangest part is that even on her off nights, the effect still erupts. She doesn't wear a suit and the arena is packed. It's as if people came to watch her. The players' passive-aggressive Instagram stories about respecting the veterans are particularly noteworthy. 5 million people watch Caitlin get triple teamed at half court, and some players can't seem to understand that Clark isn't their rival. Rather, she's their elevator. However, underneath, there are numerous side-eye body checks and quotes about rookies needing to earn it sure January, because apparently earning it doesn't include being the only reason your next game is broken. broadcast on national television for the first time in 12 years. Some players are more concerned with becoming league gatekeepers than game changers, but Caitlyn's game isn't even about diva theatrics. She's simply out there unleashing logo threes. Like her shot chart is GPS enabled.
Support system, that shouldn't change. I think, Caitlyn knows that she has the ears and eyes in the locker room, and the support that she has behind, whether it's us or anybody else. I would like to think that she knows it's there, and to really take her time and make sure that she's, well enough to be who she needs to be for us, because I want the 100% Caitlyn, so I'll take it.
The media circus then begins because, of course, as soon as Clark touches the ball, there are full-blown breakdowns, commentators scream, and camera angles that could as well be drones. Tracking the Wild is a combination of National Geographic and ESPN. You would think that the players would be celebrating the publicity, but instead we're hearing side commentary like, she hasn't proven herself yet. Girl, she's proven more in 15 minutes than some teams have proven in 15 seasons. Caitlyn in her natural hardwood habitat, the league's social numbers spike, and casual fans are suddenly debating zone defense on TikTok. Additionally, even though Caitlyn Clark doesn't play, scalpers outside the arena are pricing as if she were the Coachella headliner, and fans still act as though she's going to run through the tunnel. Conversely, some teams haven't generated that much attention since the Obama administration, but all of a sudden, one rookie's absence is more obvious than the home team's entire starting lineup. Despite this, players are responding with a barrage of thinly veiled quotes and insults in the locker room, acting as though Clark invented attention. She's just a rookie, okay? But she's also a rookie who's filling more seats than your last 3 playoff runs combined.
Turns out she's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, what's interesting about Caitlyn Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA. Draft came, season started, and, didn't miss a beat. And all of a sudden, she got a little rest and comes back, gets a little banged up. I heard you talking about it earlier, and it's going to be fascinating to me, Ricky. I've been to Fever games, and the one thing you notice, and this is more so than even when Peyton Manning was the quarterback of the Colts.
The cognitive dissonance is insane, such as, sure, we understand that there are WNBA stars who have always been Diana Taurasi could probably elbow a brick wall and the wall would apologize, but Clark has something that transcends basketball cultural velocity, the same way Serena did, the same way Tiger did. It's that weird lightning in a Gatorade bottle that can't be taught, coached, or copy-pasted, and no one's saying she's perfect. Clark gets blocked, she gets stripped, she makes turnovers, but even her mistakes trend when she takes a charge. Twitter explodes when she gets hip checked. It's a whole debate on sports radio. When she scratches her nose, 5 blogs ask if she's injured. That's power. Not because she asked for it, because she earned it. She didn't just arrive, she ignited. And if the league was smart, it would be bottling that energy instead of trying to neutralize it with salty pressers and forced elbows. But instead, some players are trying to humble her like it's a rite of passage girl. This isn't a sorority, it's a business. And right now, Caitlyn is the best sales pitch the league's had since its inception.
One word to describe Caitlyn Clark.
Amazing. A beast. She is the truth. She's the truth, and she was a rookie. Knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's crafty.
Yeah, very crafty.
Crafty, so sometimes she look like she's coming off for a three-point shot and she backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass. She can shoot. Man, she is a complete...
The sad part is that this should be the easiest alley-oop in league history. Take advantage of the new attention to highlight all the players and sell more jerseys. Even fans outside the WNBA are beginning to notice the difference in how she's treated. Is this how we treat the player who attracts millions of viewers to the sport? Apparently, yes, if you're still emotionally healing from being left off the Nike deal shortlist. Obtain larger TV deals and advance the game, but half of the league is acting as though Clark's success is an invasion rather than a revolution. Every time she plays or doesn't, the league becomes a bigger story, but some players are more focused on gatekeeping than legacy building, which is unfortunate because this could be a golden era if egos weren't trying to play full court. So yes, Caitlyn Clark is a rookie, but she already has the ball, the spotlight, the media attention, and roughly $50 million worth of market influence circling her like a pick and roll. Whether she's swishing logo 3Es or just sitting on the bench drinking Gatorade, the Caitlyn Clark effect is in full force, and the league can either capitalize on it or fall behind in transition.
How crazy was this season versus the seasons past?
Our jersey sales were up 1,193%. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and we're thrilled about it. But it brought visibility to the whole team of the Fever and to the WNBA. But if we just want to keep it in Indiana, we look at ticket sales sold out every night, over 17,000 fans in our games at home. When Caitlin announced that she was coming out into the draft on a Thursday afternoon, from that time to Sunday night, we had over 6,000 phone calls, people wanting to buy season tickets. But even something as simple as our terrific mascot, Freddie Fever, his appearance requests went up 150% this season. So you talk about the Fever, the team, which is what we've been working on,
Because, let's be clear, you're not simply watching a game when the crowd yells louder during the warm-ups than before the tip-off. You're witnessing a shift. That's a difficult lesson to swallow when you thought your agency was the only person. With that sort of pull, and just when you thought things couldn't get any more cartoonishly ridiculous, Caitlin Clark reminded everyone how much bigger the WNBA could be. And her WNBA commissioner Kathy Engelbert, who appears to have personally slam dunked the league into national prominence. Like Caitlin Clark is a mere intern managing Gatorade logistics on the sidelines, sis is out here delivering PowerPoint presentations titled How I Saved the WNBA. In the Final Four, Kathy Engelbert didn't let South Carolina score 40 points. Kathy Engelbert didn't break college viewership records, start a national merchandise explosion, or teach men who had never watched women's sports what a dribble handoff is, but now she's walking around like a marketing wizard who used a vision, board, and a press release to make all of this happen. The Caitlin Clark effect, ma'am, is a cultural earthquake rather than a team-building activity, and you're just fortunate to be hanging on by the rim as it trembles.
Shame on you, Kathy Engelbert pens this beautiful article written by Kathy, about Kathy, for Kathy, explaining why she is solely responsible for the boom of the WNBA. Folks, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. The commissioner of the WNBA on transferring the league ahead of a breakout season. And what was that plan that Kathy Engelbert put in place? Working in partnership with my new WNBA team members, NBA colleagues, and WNBA owners, we developed a strategy with 3 pillars. The league would think player first.
If you truly want to test the theory, just remove Caitlin Clark from the equation. Suddenly, the roaring crowd appears more like a high school reunion at a silent disco. ESPN's coverage would be performing in basement levels, let's say, due to cornhole championships and 2012 bowling rerun ratings. Kathy is on tour, and every microphone she sees seems to be an opportunity to say strategic growth initiatives. For example, she's Steve Jobs introducing the WNBA iPhone, so of course, Kathy, because the nation showed up unexpectedly to watch Indiana Fever games because of your Q2 marketing projections. Nothing says mainstream appeal like the sudden desire to watch teams that couldn't fill the second row at a bake sale. Meanwhile, we all know that the entire production would still be practicing in a YMCA gym if it weren't for Clark's gravity-defying pull, turning the entire thing into a national obsession. However, rather than unveiling a statue, Kathy is giving speeches about how we've worked really hard behind the scenes for this growth, and the only thing behind the scenes is the reality check waiting to take you if Caitlin takes a week off.
Yes, man, you guys heard me correctly. None other than Kathy Engelbert is singing a different tune this season about Caitlin Clark. Now, we know last year she was talking about all of the other rookies being included in this, making a difference, being able to help contribute to the Big Bang of the WNBA. This time around, she's owing it all to Caitlin Clark. Me personally, I told y'all this at the beginning of the month. The chickens was coming home to roost for the WNBA, because I'm telling you right now, there has been a lot of spooky things going on and people is tired of it.
The truth is that one person pulled this entire organization into the spotlight, and now Kathy is attempting to rebrand it as a group initiative, which isn't part of her grand strategy. If Clark announced tomorrow she was done, the league would collapse faster than a player on a greased floor. If the WNBA had any common sense, they would be bubble wrapping Caitlin Clark in between games and hiring the Secret Service to protect her as if she were carrying nuclear codes. This is Caitlin's highlight reel, and the league is fortunate to be riding along with it while feigning it's called shotgun. This is legacy management, not load management. Every game, she's being clobbered like she walked into a clearance. Sale with a full cart, drawing more fouls than a chicken nugget in a vegan cafe, and the referees are standing there saying, play on, what are we playing mad? She's not just a rookie, she's the main attraction, the halftime show, and the entire ad campaign combined into one, Court of Max Fury.
But Kathy Engelbert, in her naivete or in her delusion, she takes credit for it. Instead of saying it's because of Caitlin Clark, instead of saying it's because of the person from Iowa, instead of saying it was because of her, Kathy says, oh, it's all me. My strategy, my plan, my 3 pillars. In this entire article, Kathy Engelbert mentions Caitlin Clark's name 2, maybe 3 times. Angel Reese's name once. Cameron Briggs' name once. Let's get right into it because this article, from start to finish, is disgusting.
Here's an idea to protect the investment because Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's playing economic resurrection. She's the reason why the WNBA is being treated by media outlets like a legitimate sports league rather than a side project. You would think that the league would be on DEFCON 1, making sure that their golden ticket isn't limping into press conferences with ice packs stapled to her soul, but instead they're testing how much physical abuse she can take before becoming a walking insurance claim. Instead of creating the Caitlin Clark movie world, they're allowing her to be tackled like she walked into an NFL scrimmage. This is your LeBron, Serena, and Steph Curry moment.
Black and white sports reporters, well, I think this pretty much closes the book on its Me Too. They're tuning in for Me Too. Oh, the WNBA's not going to like that. Oh, those Angel Reese trolls online that are trying to come for me and other YouTube channels, y'all aren't going to like this. Good. Too bad. I mean, it's more statistical proof, data, to confirm exactly what we've been saying, that Caitlin Clark is driving this whole ship, this whole bus. She's driving it, everybody else get in the back.
She doesn't need a reality check. Instead, she needs a security detail and a highlight montage that is shown before every game with a do not touch label slapped across the screen. Because, let's face it, without her, this season would have the excitement level of a lukewarm decaf latte. Meanwhile, the very players who should be thanking her for their suddenly flush paychecks are teasing her like it's 1992 Detroit Pistons cosplay night. Create a holographic statue in the middle of the season, no matter what. Because Caitlin Clark didn't just appear, she made an impression, and the WNBA needs to start treating her like the person she is.